I know it's not really a new concept to look at some stuff on Reddit and give commentary on it, but I do feel like I see very few gay girls or even gay people do it, so I thought I'd try it out just for funsies. I've been trying to keep up with the bi-weekly schedule, but since I've had a lot of illustration work that needed to be prioritized, this video is a little bit late, but you know, life happens. I'm very new to Reddit as I'm more of a Facebook groups kind of lady, but I'll do my best to pick up some interesting posts if I do this again. Anyway, let's jump right into it, I guess. Would I be this if I don't go to my daughter's wedding? About 10 years ago, a close friend of our daughter's came out as gay. This friend in particular slept over at our house so much that she was almost like a daughter to us. We even had a separate bed in our daughter's bedroom just for her. When we found out that she was gay, my husband and I had a discussion about whether we should continue letting her sleep in our daughter's bedroom, or if we should move her to the guest bedroom. Okay. We're at a terrible start here, with OP considering not letting her daughter sleep in the same room with another girl who just happens to be a lesbian. Plus the fact that she's apparently over at their house so much that they're practically best friends, if I'm not incorrect here. My thoughts on this are basically OP's either thinking of this girl, someone they've watched grow up, and someone they basically view as family, as some sort of perverted predator who might prey on their daughter, or OP is worried that this girl will somehow turn their daughter into a lesbian as well. Or OP is worried that if the girls decide to get frisky, she's worried that her daughter might contract an STD. The girls obviously can't get each other pregnant, so this is the only thing here that I could somehow begin to understand. Okay, let's go on. We were hesitant, but we had a conversation with our daughter, who was 17 at the time, and she told us that even if her friend tried anything, she would shut it down because she was straight. It made sense. We believed our daughter was trustworthy and responsible, and so we allowed the friend to continue sleeping in her room. Okay, if responsible equals hetero and lesbo equals irresponsible, I might have a slight issue with this, but go on. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. They finished senior year and went off to college. We never suspected anything. Every time they would come over for the holidays, my daughter brought a boy with her and my daughter's friend brought a girl with her. Come to find out that the boy we thought our daughter was dating was actually dating the girl that we thought our daughter's friend was dating. Okay, I gotta say, these girls are smart. That is a genius plan. I mean, it's tragic that in order to be together, they have to create this intricate lie, but it is genius. And the way we found out is because one day I get an invitation in the mail to a wedding for our daughter and her friend. I was so confused. I called my daughter thinking there had been some kind of typo or something. No answer. I called a friend and I can barely ask, "What's going on?" before the friend breaks down crying and confesses that her and my daughter have been in a relationship for a decade, which was around the time we agreed to let her sleep in our daughter's room. Okay, first things first, you should be honored that you're invited to your daughter's wedding at all, considering that she seems terrified of coming out to your parents. I'm not sure I would invite my parents if this would be me. Second thing second, please don't be a tootsie cross about this. Your daughter's fiance, someone who you earlier spoke of as basically your family, is crying. My husband and I felt so betrayed. Oop, tootsie cross it is. Our daughter gets on the phone and says, "Mom, Dad, I know you're upset and I promise we'll talk after the wedding and I'll explain everything." I'm feeling so sad for this girl, man. I can't even imagine what she's going through. She just wants her parents to share her day with her. She won't even demand they understand or accept. She just wants them there. I said, "Okay, we'll talk after the wedding," and I hang up. The next day she calls me, I pick up and say, "Why are you calling me? I thought you didn't want to talk until after the wedding." She said, "We are, but I wanted to know what times you're available so we could go get measured for our dresses." Oh man, this daughter seems so loyal. She must have been a wreck the previous day. Obviously, I wasn't there to hear the conversation, but she must have wanted to make double sure that her parents knew that they're still invited and that she still very much wants them there. I'm literally scared where this is going. And I said, "What do you mean we? You don't think that your father and I are going to your wedding, do you? You lied to us for 10 years for no reason, and you expect us to just automatically disregard that? We'll talk after the wedding." for no reason. Well, the daughter seems to have figured out early on that you and your husband would freak out over this. It's not just something she grabbed out of the air. It could be years of commenting negatively about gay people, whether it be passively, aggressively, or even openly aggressive. Your daughter knew you'd react badly, so she didn't tell you. And you should feel deeply ashamed about that. I can only imagine what it must have been like for your daughter to grow up in such a household and what toll it can possibly have taken on her mental health. She was probably so scared of losing your love. When someone chooses to come out, it can change their whole lives in an instant. It's something you can't take it back. Plus, if your daughter's friend, someone who you earlier referred to as almost a daughter, coming out created such a scene at your home, how could you blame your daughter for not wanting to go through that? And since this lesbian girl came over so often and even spent holidays there, it's obvious your daughter was scared that her girlfriend wouldn't be welcome there anymore. I haven't spoken to my daughter since then, and the wedding is sometime this month. My husband and I have been getting a lot of calls from our family members on both sides telling us that we're being selfish for ruining our daughter's special day over something that happened 10 years ago. You know, this is such a shame. Your own selfish and downright cruel view of lesbian and gay people have created such a rift between you and your daughter, and I really can't imagine it being anyone else's fault but your own. I can obviously only base my view on this post alone, but since this is between a child and her parents, I do feel like the majority of the responsibility should be put on the parent. Now, obviously, most people in the comments thought the OP was the bad person in this case. I didn't feel like scrolling through the entire comment section to find an update or more outrageous people that perhaps side with the parents. At least not today, because I got way too angry reading this post alone. Let me know if you like this sort of content and if you'd like to see more. I'm very new to Reddit and I still haven't learned how to navigate the site properly. It is partly due to me being an old and absolute grandma when it comes to new things, but also because I'm lazy. I'd love to hear other people's view on the situation, so please share your thoughts no matter what side you're on. I'd love to hear your perspective as well.